Well done.
He does a lot of working out.
Yes.
So Anthony just worked out too hard. He's got to take a Tuesday.
I told him, even if that's not the story, just roll it. And you can tell it's a legit day. No one for fun calls off on a Tuesday.
Right.
You're going to save it.
Yeah.
Save your sick days for a Friday.
Exactly. Stubbed his toe, hurt his eye.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I hope he's sleeping.
Yeah. No, I hope he better be watching.
I hope he's not watching.
Yeah, but he can't even defend himself from.
Yeah, that's fair.
I know.
That's
Poor
fair.
Anthony.
Worrying.
Okay, you guys. So here's the thing. September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and Lurie Children is rallying the community to raise $1 million for life-saving research and family support. So today we're going to be talking with Karen Sporny and EJ Klages, who lost their daughter Megan to an aggressive brain tumor at just 19 years old. They're sharing Megan's story and how we can all help carry on her legacy. And then later, cell phones in schools.
Sure.
A new big topic.
Yeah.
Yes, and New York and LA are talking about putting phones on lockdown. They're already leading the way, so we want to find out.
Like a bag and tag kind of thing, like when you go to a comedy show?
I bet. It seems like a lot of work, though.
Oh, I hate it when you go to a comedy show and you have to put your phone in the little bag and tag thing.
But you know what? It's been a topic of discussion for so long, and I will say I've even experienced college where I've had professors who have said no phones at all. And you know, this was not that long ago.
Sure.
And you could tell it is a distraction, guys, having it on your desk, and even if you had it on the anchor desk or something.
So
you
what
would
did
know
they
that it's
say?
there.
Were they like, keep it in your backpack?
They're like, if it was a small class for one, it was a journalism class, and so you could see if someone had their phone out.
So a class where you learn how to communicate, they're telling you not to communicate.
Yeah, pretty much. And I'm not sneaky whatsoever. I can't really take one of those like sneaky videos on a train.
Yeah.
I want to show something someone something funny. It's not happening with me.
Yeah.
It's pretty obvious. Anyway.
It's interesting. I mean, especially with the young kids, like high schoolers these days. When I was in high school, it was never an issue, the cell phone thing.
Yeah.
So I think this is going to be a new day and age where we're seeing what the cell phones do to these kids in school. So we're going to be talking to this program, Campfire, the CEO, to break down the impact of cell phone bans and the simple steps that parents can take right now to help your kids adjust, unplug from our devices that we are all addicted to.
Yes.
I find it's just easier if you're just like me and just deeply uncool and then no one calls you. Then it's just
Whatever.
a black
know how cool you are.
screen.
Let me call you all the
Well,
time.
not a black screen. It's a picture of my dog.
Oh, well.
That's it.
She's special.
Well, speaking of people who want to talk to you, I saw you got to go to a beautiful little gathering
and
of
it was
folks.
Can I brag for a second? Do you mind?
Brag.
It was the most beautiful day. Just the day itself. It was like God looked at Gabby and went, "This one's for you."
We're talking about Gabby getting married.
And it helps that she married Brendan, who is maybe the nicest man I've ever met in my entire life. And everyone there, it was just the most comfortable, sweet, genuine wedding. I loved
so sweet
that the priest, the father, who did the ceremony, was so unbelievably funny. He started out with a couple of traffic jokes. He led off with a couple of just to kind of, but everything about it was so personal. We've all been to weddings that just sort of feel like someone can copy paste. I've been to this 1,000. This felt like it. You put pen to paper, the big giant feather quill, and it was written for you. It was the most beautiful ceremony.
So sweet to say.
It was. I was so honored to be there. I only got marginally tipsy. Shut up, Adina. And it was such a great time, and not just because it was an open bar.
Open bar, okay.
For many hours, yeah.
For
You know what? I know. I'm
hours.
so thankful that some of you guys at Fox were able to come, because it made it even that more special. That is the sweetest thing I could ever hear. Seriously.
It was true.
A lot of work, you know, as you know, planning a wedding is a lot of work, and so I really appreciate that.
How do you feel about it?
Oh my gosh, it was the best day ever. Honestly, people say, and I was skeptical, like, oh, this is going to be the best day of your life. My wedding day was the best day of my life. No, that was the best day of my life. I felt like I hit the jackpot. You know how emotional I am. You saw me sobbing at the altar.
Oh my God.
I get anything sentimental. I'm trying to keep it together. Anything kind of sentimental, I will start sobbing. So, and
our little Fox group, it was sitting, you know, to the back and to the left. There was a moment, you know, I kind of walked in thinking, like, okay, like I'm not gonna cry. Like it's Gabby's, I'm not gonna cry. And about like 5 minutes in, I went, oh my God, am I gonna cry at Gabby's wedding? Because I'm a big crier. Ever since I turned 30, I cry at everything. But I was fairly certain I wasn't gonna cry at your wedding. And about 5 minutes in, I was like, I'm not crying.
You know what?
It was
Father Larry, he's over at St. Joseph Immaculate Conception over in the near north side, and he is the best.
Hey,
we got to know him for the past year and a half.
Yeah,
or so.
it felt like he knew you guys.
Even prior to getting engaged, because we went to mass there and we loved it. He's just so sweet and really got to know us. And then we had a reception over in West Town at the Carter, it's called, and they're just unbelievably sweet too. We got really, really lucky with just sweet people, people who are not so uptight about weddings and just trying to nickel and dime.
It was a good vibe. You guys picked a good group of people, and that church was unbelievable. It was like, I've been to the churches in Italy and France. Like, it felt like it was a European church.
Wow,
it was a beautiful church.
You know what? It is beautiful. And if we can pull up that picture, guys, of the black and white one with the whole crowd, because Father Larry said, hey, we're going to take a second. We have the photographers come up, and we want this this picture to make the 10 o'clock news. Well, Father Larry, it made the 10 o'clock news.
Yes, it did. Hey! And you know what's so funny is, like, in our Fox group, we were all kind of like, we don't have a 10 o'clock news, but we do have a 10 o'clock news.
I was thinking the same thing as he was doing it in Chicago Now.
He didn't say PM. He didn't say PM. He meant Chicago Now.
Do you feel like, so thinking back to my wedding, the two things that were my biggest takeaway was, one, I didn't get to say hi to everybody or talk to everyone, and then two, how fast it goes by, and like it's a blink of an eye and it's over. Do you feel like that was true for you too, or did you get some time?
You know what, it was true for sure. We had 270 people there, so it was a big crowd, but I think Brendan and I did an okay job of going over to tables, getting a picture with them. We did that photo dash. And then we tried to make the cocktail hour, so we were there for like, I don't know, 45 minutes, got some pictures of people. But it's impossible.
Did you eat?
You know,
did you eat?
I actually did eat a lot.
Good for you, Gabby.
And so I had some hors d'oeuvres saved for us. We ate those upstairs, and then I made sure I ate my steak. Because guess what? I didn't say a speech.
And
I just got to hang back and just relax and all that.
That's nice.
What is Jake showing?
The picture?
Oh, Jake.
Oh, it's the picture of Jake and Gabby.
His new screensaver. That's so sweet.
Do we have a video that we could play, you guys, I believe, from the wedding?
Oh,
let's
we do.
do it.
Okay,
Cue it up, baby.
Oh.
No, because we had a great editor downstairs at Fox 32
who's got an amazing eye.
Do a side gig.
Look at these.
Oh, these are some pictures.
Oh, I love these pictures.
So I've been able
Gabby,
to
that dress. Are you kidding?
We're looking up because the monitor's up there.
Yeah, we're looking up.
But yeah, that's us cutting the cake. Just a small cake. I wanted to keep it simple.
Yes. Do you have any tips or advice for people who are getting married? Like, from your learning experience. I mean, I remember when you got engaged, you've been planning this thing forever.
It seems like it was a personality trait, you know, at a certain point. It was like, man, all I could talk about or think about is this wedding. Yeah. And I tried not to take it so seriously, like, okay, whatever happens, happens. But it was a lot of work. I'm just so happy with how it turned out, though.
Can we also talk about how everyone in the bridal party on both sides looked like they came out of like an Abercrombie ad?
All right,
like
Jake,
all those
did you get a number? Did you get a phone number?
No, I did not.
Oh,
no, that
you could have gave me a little forewarning.
In the list of inappropriate things, I'm pretty sure going to your coworker's wedding and trying to pick up a bridesmaid is near the top of inappropriate things.
That's life. That's how you meet your significant other. It has to be a meet cute.
And it could have happened. Actually, you know, one of our producers is dating one of the best men.
That's exactly right.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I gotta get the.
Oh, you didn't know?
No.
You didn't know?
Yeah, come on. I'll tell you those.
Yeah.
I met him. He's great. Big fan.
Hey.
And I hate most people.
So wait, what was your takeaway? I don't think we got to that.
Sorry. You know, I think it's being in the moment, knowing that not everything has to be so serious. It's not going to be the end of the world if something doesn't work out. Even though my fiance would probably be listening to this and be like, what do you mean? I mean, husband, I'm sorry. Like, oh, what do you mean? You acted like things were the end of the world. But, you know, I would say, not making it so serious, and also making sure that you can DIY stuff. You know, you don't have to spend $1 trillion. All of the candles, all of the signage.
Really?
All of the treats. Yeah, it was a lot of work. The wedding invitations, because you know you end up spending $1 trillion.
Yeah.
I think that was my tip with the money saving, is just to not tell these companies that it's for a wedding. Because if they know it's for a wedding,
to do that though.
I don't know. I did it.
Oh, wow.
I did it. Okay. But another thing with the flowers, something I did, you can get your flowers delivered to you, and then you can put together your own bouquets of them.
Yeah, and that's one thing I did. I did minimal flowers because of those costs and stuff.
Expensive.
And we used Sokol Flowers over in Summit, just a really small family-owned flower shop that's been around forever. So sweet, and they did such a good job just with the little bouquets and stuff.
Wow. Well, congratulations, Gabby.
Yes, Gabby.
So good.
Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Did you guys do a little honeymoon?
Yeah, we went to Door County and we stayed in Ephraim. We went around like Sister Bay, Bailey's Harbor, all those kind of spots, Egg Harbor. It was perfect. It was very fall-like.
Oh,
So
perfect.
it was like 60.
Love it. Oh,
Hiked,
beautiful.
Biked. We had no plans other than
Beautiful.
a couple's massage, which I have never really done, like a true massage. And it was great.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. Wow. And then last question before we move on to Jake. What for gifts? So when I got married, we did this thing online, and it was like you could put money towards like a honeymoon or like a tent or whatever you had on this list. How did you guys handle gifts?
Honestly, I put a honeymoon fund up there just like in case someone wanted to do that.
Yeah.
But I did a lot on the registry.
A registry.
Honestly, we
Got
kind of
it.
needed a lot, so it was easy to find stuff that we could just like plop on there.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Well,
That's the
Jake,
deets.
kind of taking a right turn here.
Sure.
We lost a good one.
We did. Unfortunately, you know, we had some breaking entertainment news this morning. Oscar winner Robert Redford died at the age of 89. And, you know, it's funny. We're unfortunately now in that era where we're kind of starting to lose the legends. You know, we lost Gene Hackman not too long ago, and then, you know, years back we lost Paul Newman, and kind of that era of the great stars of the 60s and the 70s, particularly, you know, that era of the 70s decade, which is widely considered to be, you know, the great movie decade. You know, those guys, you know, both in front of and behind the camera, they're getting older, and they're not sticking with us, you know, anymore. And yeah, we lost Robert Redford, a great actor. Have you guys seen any of his work?
He's in a lot of like old school movies, right?
Yeah,
I think I've seen some like when my dad was watching
Sure.
or something.
Yeah.
Because when I looked him up this morning, I was like, wait a second, I know exactly who this is.
Exactly.
Yeah. He's just like kind of that.
If
that
you ever
mainstay
saw
face.
the before, you know, obviously it was remade with DiCaprio, he was Jay Gatsby, and
Yes.
one of the in the Great
Yes.
Gatsby.
That
But
makes sense.
obviously he was, you know, he was in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. He was the Sundance Kid. He was in 3 Days of the Condor. Brilliant. He did All the President's Men. Woodward and Bernstein, about the two journalists that infiltrated, or they broke the story alongside Deep Throat on Richard Nixon and the Watergate scandal. That's a great movie about journalism if you guys ever get the chance to see that. Brilliant movie. Funny enough, one of those like established actors that worked for a long time only received one acting Oscar nomination for a movie back in 1973 called The Sting, but he would end up, like a lot of actors do, winning his Oscar for directing. He directed a movie called Ordinary People back in 1980.
I've seen that
and
movie.
won Best Director for that. Most recently, he was in a Marvel movie. He was in the second Captain America movie, The Winter Soldier,
Really?
which was kind of a throwback to, because Robert Redford was in these very timely political movies of the 70s, the Winter Soldier was trying to be like that, and so I think they kind of brought him into it as like a little bit of a tip of the cap. But in addition to that, he also did a lot of work for the environment. He was a big activist in that way, and then also he was at the forefront of really helping the world embrace independent films. Have you guys ever heard of the Sundance Film Festival, which so many amazing directors got their start? You could argue Quentin Tarantino, Kevin Smith, all these guys got their start because their films were embraced by the Sundance Film Festival. I mean, he's the Sundance Kid. That's his out of Park City in Utah.
No way.
So, yeah.
Have you met him?
I have. Yeah.
What was your experience?
He was every bit the legend that you would want him to be. In fact, the last time I ever saw him was at the Toronto International Film Festival some years back. And I was getting out of an elevator as this group of people was walking by. And anytime you're ever at a film festival and you see a group of people, you instantly lock in because you're like, who are they protecting?
Looking at,
And they walked by, and then I saw him. You know, he still looked like Robert Redford, big, beautiful head of hair, and you know, my stupid butt just yelled out, "Mr. Redford!" And instantly, like, his team turned around and like, no, and then he turned around and goes, "What? No,
It's
stop!"
Jake,
Like, no, he didn't say that. Trust me, no, but he had no idea who I was, but took 30 seconds out of his day to come over and shake my hand and say, "Oh, what have you seen at the festival that you've liked?" Now, granted, he had a film there. He didn't ask, "Have you seen my film?" He said, "What have you seen?"
When was
This
this?
would have been, God, when did Old Man of the Gun come out? Maybe 5 years ago, maybe.
Okay.
But just the fact that, like, it was 30 seconds that probably 30 seconds later he forgot, but it's a moment that I remember for the rest of my life. And in those little moments, you know, the fact that at that point he was one of the most established actors in the history of the medium, and he still had the wherewithal to go, it'll take me 30 seconds to make this kid's life. And he did. Was able to shake his hand, was able to say, I'm sure I love this thing. But just what an amazing, accomplished actor. And, the cool thing about someone like that is that they pass, and obviously he's no longer with us, but like tonight you turn on All the President's Men and he's back alive. You turn on The Sting, and that's for the rest of his life. That is a legacy, and he is associated with kindness, and he's associated with talent and grace and skill, and he is a part of a generation, and unfortunately we're getting to a point where we don't have as many of those legends around anymore. But when crafting your classic actors Mount Rushmore, you could have a conversation about putting his face on there.
You have such beautiful words today, Mike Hamilton. I have a question for you. When you meet people, like say in passing like that, do you start off by saying like, hey, I'm kind of a big deal, I'm a movie actor?
I don't. No, I introduce myself. I say my name's Jake Hamilton, and I'm a huge fan of your work, and because I don't want, I always assume I have such a limited time with this person, I don't want to make it about myself. As quick as I can, and you know what I remembered about him, and this is the thing, I told him my name, and at the end when he was shaking my hand, he said, "Pleasure to meet you, Jake." And that's such a little thing, and I always try, not that I'm saying that like, oh, I'm like Robert Redford, but I try to do that whenever I meet people on the street. I always try to ask their name and then repeat it, because I know how that makes me feel when someone does that. So I always try to, as Jack Lemmon says, send the elevator back down. And I remembered him doing that. So
my brain is a mush goldfish, and so I could try to do that, but I will forget.
But I find that instantly repeating really
right
helps.
after,
Yeah. Or sometimes you write people's name on their hand, Caitlin.
You write, but you don't have time to do that.
No, I'm just going. No, you don't write on their hand.
Man,
no.
Just kidding. Like you forgot your name.
Oh, got it.
You can tell a joke's great when you have to explain it.
It's really good.
I got it, Jake.
I appreciate you.
Yeah. Well, wow. I mean,
80 Robert Redford.
Really cool.
89 years old. That's a good run.
That's
a good run.
A good
legacy. And it's just a reminder.
He was a handsome fella.
He was, and he was handsome his entire life.
Oh,
like it wasn't like he used to be handsome. It was. I mean, if I would, at 37, I would like to look like Robert Redford at 67 or 77.
There will be tales about your hair.
I think
years.
Books.
Years.
I think it's going to go. I was talking about this with someone. I think if I have blonde hair, it's going to go white. Is that how it works?
So
that's
how
it works.
You could pull off
because I don't know, but blonde doesn't go gray, does it? Blonde goes white?
I think it goes white. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah,
what?
So I'm going to have a large coif of white hair.
Is that a thing?
I think so. I think when you have darker hair, it goes like the salt. Like if you're Clooney, it goes salt and pepper. And then I think someone like myself, I think it's going to be just a large coif of white hair.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully a while from now.
It'll be beautiful.
Yeah, as long as I still got it. I don't care what color it is, as long as I still got it.
All right, well, coming up.
So much,
thank you, guys.
Yeah, and Gabby, congratulations.
Yay.
Hey, Gabby.
So good. The live studio audience, oh my goodness.
Just do this like all day.
Yeah.
Just look at your finger.
Right?
Oh, this whole thing?
Yeah. It's a little heavy. Coming up, we're going to be talking about how it is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and how in September, Lurie Children is rallying the community to raise $1 million, and how you can help. Stay with us.
If you need
Welcome back to Chicago Now. We're switching gears a little bit. September is a special month. It's Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and Lurie Children, of course, is rallying the community to raise $1 million. And you know what? They do such a good job spreading the word, spreading awareness that I really hope that you at home can make contributions to them. So we have a special guest, or a couple special guests here with us, Karen and EJ. Now, you had a daughter, Megan. She fought a courageous battle with an aggressive brain tumor, and passed away at just 19 years old in 2023. You know, I always like to start out interviews with telling us about Megan and her life and how great she made this world.
Absolutely. Megan was she always had goals. She always drove towards those goals. In middle school, she was a runner, one of the top in the nation.
Wow.
Her team came in first place for the Illinois State Championship in middle school.
Yeah.
And she really led that team. She was a leader by example. She was diagnosed with pediatric brain cancer, diffuse midline glioma, her freshman year of high school. And later, in the late half of her junior year, she had a recurrence that ended her in a wheelchair. But as an athlete, she always was re-examining her goals and making new adjustments to that. So she took up wheelchair racing. In addition to just fighting cancer, she wanted to live and do as much as she can through that time. And so she actually ended up as a wheelchair track racer at the University of Illinois, fulfilling her dreams of a D1 athlete, all through her almost 5-year battle with brain cancer that took her life.
So, talking about her diagnosis, as a parent, what was that process like, and what were the warning signs that you guys had?
Well, that's the scary part. There weren't a lot of warning signs. She actually, it was, like Karen said, it was her freshman year. She ran a cross-country race on a Saturday morning and then went to homecoming Saturday night. After party, woke up the next day and just didn't feel right. Her legs were heavy. We thought maybe it was she just had a really long day. She was tired. She was dehydrated. And less than 24 hours later, we were in an emergency transport to Lurie Children's because she had, through the day, lost the ability to walk.
What?
Was starting to lose feelings in her hands, and went straight into an MRI to surgery to remove a tumor from her spinal cord.
Did something happen to trigger that, since it happened so quickly?
No.
Nope.
Just a very aggressive form of cancer that grew quickly. When we look back, maybe 2 or 3 weeks prior to that, she was complaining about some shoulder pain. But as we talked about, she was an athlete. Yep. So that was just part of the bumps and dings of being an athlete.
Yeah.
So we treated it with some basic stuff, but never imagined that it's going to turn into a cancerous tumor.
Well, you know, you can see pictures here, and it looks like she has a very bright smile, just like you two have, and I can see you light up when you talk about her. So you must be so proud to carry a legacy. But you said, before we talk about Lurie Children's and how much they do and how you can help at home, let's talk about her brother. You said she had a twin brother who's still spreading awareness.
Absolutely. She has a twin brother, Andy. He is at Mizzou. He's a senior.
MIZ.
And he is one of the advocacy chairs for Mizzou More Than 4. And he really started that program there with a couple of friends his freshman year. And they are spreading awareness and helping kids in the Columbia, Missouri area. And recently this year, they expanded More Than 4 to 12 additional college campuses. So they're really starting a movement to bring awareness to pediatric cancer and also to raise funds to make a difference in this world.
I see your bracelet there. Is that connected to your drive and your purpose?
It is. Megan loved Taylor Swift, so of course Taylor Swift band, and you know, just keeps reminding us of what we're working for.
Of course.
Yep.
All right, talking about Lurie Children's, you know, unfortunately there are other families here who go through similar things, and so we want to support them and wrap our arms around them as much as we can. So what are some ways that people can best honor Megan's legacy and others who are going through this with contribution?
So obviously financial contribution, Karen mentioned More Than 4, and you hear that term a lot when we're talking about pediatric cancer, because that's what the government funding is. 4% of all cancer funding for research that's what goes to pediatrics. It's a very low number. So financial donations, but besides that is awareness. Become educated. become an advocate. If you can't donate, understand. Most of our friends, when Megan was donated and we start talking about the facts about the amount of money that's spent in research, that there's only been a handful of drugs in the last 60 years that are approved for pediatric cancer, that there are cancers like what Megan had, that there just are not treatment options. It's not that she had options that didn't work, there were none. Most of our friends were shocked by this, so become aware, become an advocate, talk to your support system, because everybody unfortunately will know a child through family, through friends, work, maybe you're a chiropractor's daughter, something like that, who is going through pediatric cancer. It touches so many children, and so many people seem unaware of what the battle really is.
Can you speak on that a little more? Because I think you're right. I mean, you're saying awareness and learning, and as parents, I'm sure you guys did an immense amount of research through this whole process and afterwards. Is there any message or things that you learned along the way that you want to send home to parents or people at home that don't know about childhood cancer?
Absolutely. 7 years ago when Megan was diagnosed, it was 1 in 285 children would be impacted by cancer. Today, that number is 1 in 260. It's going the wrong direction, and more kids are being diagnosed, and we don't have advancement in treatments to help them. The worst thing that a doctor can do is have to tell a patient and their family that there's nothing they have, there's no more options. And through research, we can change that. And research is not being funded through the federal government as much as we need. It's being funded through individual foundations and smaller non-for-profits, and that's really where Lurie's is coming in, to raise $1 million to keep that local and help our Chicagoland kids make a difference in their treatments, less side effects, and actually have hope while they're going through those treatments.
And a cure is obviously the ultimate goal, but before that, our treatments, it's not just, yes, cure is what we're driving for, but treatment regimens that you can do to expand the life or make the quality of life better or do things is a step along the way. So, and we're not there yet, so it's the whole gamut.
So I love that you guys are speaking to this, because my ignorance is I didn't realize that there were different treatments. It's not just chemo for cancer. Can you talk about that a little bit? So different cancers require different medications and different treatments.
Absolutely. Megan went through multiple different types of treatment. Immunotherapy, she went through CAR T infusions, which is really taking your own immune system and changing it to attack the tumor. She had chemotherapy, and she also had proton and photon radiation.
Whoa.
So lots of different options for the doctors to try, and her doctors, honestly, they tried everything. But we need research to find what's the best, what's the cure, where's the hope for these kids going forward.
You know, I think we're so lucky to have Lurie Children's here, and they do such amazing work. I've worked with them many times. Can you speak on just how much they helped you through this process, and if they made Megan feel comfortable during her treatments as well?
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak, there's not enough words to speak highly about Lurie Children's. Number one, to the doctors, the nurses, the staff. As a pediatric doctor, you are not just treating the patient, you are treating the parents, you are treating patients like Megan, who was 14, extremely intelligent, and battled till she was 19, so she really understood, was really involved in her care, how she was feeling, but dealing, you know, we think about, there's teeny tiny babies battling cancer, and they can't communicate how they're feeling. They don't understand what's going on. So those doctors, there's obviously clinical expertise, medical expertise, top-notch. Lurie Children's is #1 in the state, and #1 highly ranked across the board in multiple things nationwide. But their doctors, their staff, the people. Megan's doctor, Dr. Lenzen, Megan not only had full confidence in her medical care from Dr. Lenzen, but looked up to her. Also felt she was someone she could confide in, whether it was for medical or just how she was feeling, or even what was going on at school or socially. They had a connection. Megan relied on her for so much through her treatment, and she was always there for her and the rest of the staff too. We tell lots of stories about how people that we only cross paths with once in the hospital setting, because when you're inpatient, you see doctors that you have a relationship with, but there's a lot that just flow in for the day because they're on staff or on rotation at that point in time, that made significant impacts for Megan that we still talk about and remember.
Do you feel like, as parents that went through something like this, that I can't even begin to imagine, did Lurie's help you, connect you to maybe a therapist to talk to go through this trauma?
They absolutely do. They have social workers on their team that is assigned to you. So, you know, in the room when you're hearing information, your social worker is right there with you and making sure that you and the family and the siblings all have the resources that you need in order to go through this together. And to go through it, it's a trauma. And so you have to be able to go through that trauma and come out on the other side. And that's what they're making sure happens holistically for the whole family.
Have you found too that on social media, for example, have you found groups? Is that helpful for you as parents? If you could speak to even parents maybe that are watching the show, what would you recommend? Have you found help groups that really make a difference?
There are a few. Momcology is a great one to reach out to and follow on Facebook. They have a great resource, and you'll be able to connect with other parents that are going through the same thing. I think that's probably the biggest one that I've used and connected with others.
Yeah.
You know, I want to get back to Megan because it sounds like, you know, being on a lot of sports teams too, she probably made such a great connection with teammates, with friends. Again, how could you not love that smile that we see in these pictures?
Right.
Do you find that a lot of the people that she connected with over the years really also are now spreading awareness? Or what would you say to people at home, I guess, who, even if they don't know someone who's gone through something like this, they really should take action, shouldn't they?
100%. I mean, A, you don't know when it's going to happen, but B, if you're looking for a cause for you or your business or something, helping children with cancer, there's nothing, no matter where you're coming from, there's nothing wrong with doing that.
Right. Yeah, you can always support kids that are going through a battle for their lives, something that you really honestly can't ever imagine. But supporting those families through donations, through gift cards, through spreading awareness, and also through advocacy to help raise more funds to make these treatments better and to bring hope to the families that are going through it.
Well, focusing on the goal of $1 million, so Lurie Children, do you have the website that people should go to or to follow for more information for different fundraisers that they have coming up this month?
Yeah, we absolutely do. There's a link. I think you may have it that you can post.
Yes. We'll make sure that we put it on our website as seen on Fox 3 too.
Yep.
We love to post things there, so it's nice and easy for you at home. Because as we've heard from you two and many others, Lurie Children's does make a big impact. And we appreciate you coming on and sharing your story. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, we will keep Megan always in our memory. All right, well, we have much more to talk about here on Chicago Now. We'll be right back after this break.
Thank you.
Nothing.
and welcome back to Chicago Now. You know, we've had a lot of stuff to talk about today, including Lurie Children's wanting to raise $1 million for the month of September to fight childhood cancer. So that's a really big topic, and we want to continue that conversation, you know, in the coming weeks as we go through September, but really any time of year. It's not just this month where you can really donate, because I've been there many times, Caitlin. I'm telling you, they are just top notch. I volunteered for their what do they call it? Telethon? Yeah, telethon. Where I sat and I answered phones for them and gathered donations and stuff, and it was just so special hearing from the patients, the doctors. Every time I'm there, I'm bawling because it's just such a special place. So I'm really glad that we had Megan and EJ and Karen
Megan's parents,
Megan's parents.
I think it was just the awareness of that it can happen like this in a blink, and just as they mentioned, the research that they've done afterwards and how they have different treatments for different kinds of cancers, and you know, it just opens your eyes. As they mentioned, it could happen to anybody at any time.
It can.
Yeah. Now we're switching gears here because we have Olivia Curry joining us. She's a local professional boxer. And this Friday, she's competing, girl, you're awesome, for her first 2 world titles. It's a middleweight championship match against Australia's Kay Scott in Detroit. So right now, you have a record of 7-2 with 2 knockouts. Yeah. This is amazing. As a professional boxer since 2021, I've got to know all the details about how you got into this and your whole experience. But you have an upcoming fight, and the winner is given the World Boxing Association and World Boxing Council of middleweight titles. So are you so excited? Are you nervous? Are you feeling all the jitters?
I'm so excited, mostly excited. My camp's gone super, super well. But you always get nervous. If you weren't nervous, you wouldn't care, right? So I'm a little nervous.
Well, I think it's funny. I mean, it says here you're a film editor by day as well. So how did you start a boxing career?
Yeah. So I am originally from Cincinnati, Ohio, but I came to the Chicago area for college like quite some time ago. I won't say exactly how long, but I went to film school up at Northwestern. And so I was there over the summer, one summer, just kind of like all my friends had gone home. I was working, figured I'd get in shape, and I signed up to take Muay Thai kickboxing classes at like a local boxing gym. And it just like anyone, right? Like regular person, just like student discount. And it turned out that they actually knew what they were talking about, and it was like kind of a real boxing gym. And ever since then, I competed in Muay Thai as an amateur for a while, and then switched to amateur boxing when I moved into the city, and it just kind of spiraled out of control, and now I'm here.
Okay, so you had to have been an athlete before you got into boxing.
That's what I was just going to ask. And I don't think an average person could really go in there and be that successful.
Not really. Like growing up, you know, I played in a rec soccer league, but I was not really, and I was a nerd, you know. I was like an arts and music and reading books kind of girl.
Did you have a lot of like pent up energy that you wanted to expel? Did you run?
Yes.
Did you, come on, there has to be something behind this.
No, I really didn't work out that much. You know, I'd go to the gym occasionally just to try to like be healthy, but I wasn't really an athlete. My dad was a big athlete growing up, and so he made sure that I kind of had the basics, right? Like he always made sure I could sort of move, like get into some sports here and there, go outside and play, but I never, I wasn't really a competitive athlete like that. But I did have some pent-up rage, I think, and that it helped.
Okay.
That's a little bit
here's some video of you.
Okay, so Friday, the Fox Theater in Detroit is when your fight's going to happen. Who are you competing against, and what do you think? I mean, you said you have to be a little nervous in order to really feel passionate, right? You have that rage pent up.
Yeah, I mean, you get nervous because of the opportunity, and I'm really excited. This is my first world title fight, which in boxing is basically like the highest level. So that's the pressure of that is what gives me the little jitters. But I'm excited. I'm fighting Kay Scott, who's from Australia, so she's coming all the way over here to Detroit to fight me. And she had a really like kind of extensive amateur background in Australia, so she has a lot of amateur experience, a lot of fights, but as a professional, I think we're pretty evenly matched up.
So what are your strengths? Is it more defense or offense? I can imagine, like, do you attack, or are you more of like a good dodge or dip dive?
I would say offense. My coach, Trinidad Garcia at Unanimous in Chicago up in Logan Square, he has made sure he took me you know, ever since I turned pro, he's been with me, and he made me into a pressure fighter, what we call a pressure fighter in boxing. So I'm always coming forward,
Yes.
I'm throwing a lot of
Yes.
punches, especially for like my size, which is a bigger weight class. My pace tends to be pretty high.
Oh my gosh, you must do mega cardio then to make sure that you're in shape. Is it really just like sparring all the time, or is it more than that? Is it like going on the treadmill, running as much as like we see in kind of the movies and stuff?
It is, like, it actually does feel a little bit like a montage from Creed or something, but like a lot less like cool all the time and more day to day. You're just like going through it again. But it's a lot of running. It's a lot of hitting mitts with your coach, hitting the bag, sparring for sure. But we don't spar every day because that wouldn't be great for your brain.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, so great for your brain. What is it like to box? I mean, I've never, for people at home, I'm sure many of you have not done
never boxed before?
done it either.
Of course.
But like to be hit, does it jostle you around? Like, do you get used to it? What is that like?
You get used to it. I would say you get used to it. And I don't know, something about like, of course, like it hurts, I guess, to get hit, but it doesn't hurt as bad usually as most people think. And you learn defense and you get better at blocking, but it does hurt. And the thing that I come back to is with pain, that's really, I think, an interesting thing to think about is like pain doesn't always mean damage, right? It's just your nerves sending a signal to your brain. So you can really like train yourself to get used to that feeling. And now the everyday kind of hits in boxing, they don't feel like pain to me anymore. But once in a while someone drops a big one, and you know, those are the shots that count in a fight.
Right. Okay, so the counts. How does that work? Does someone, you don't necessarily have to knock someone out to win.
You don't. Of course, if you knock someone out, you automatically win. That's the best way to go. You know, we don't get paid overtime in boxing, so if you can end it early, that's great.
Oh.
But no, other than that, it's scored round by round. So there are 3 judges, and then every round, one person wins, and then at the end, they tally up who won the most rounds. So it's round by round, not like every single hit counts. So there is a degree of subjectivity about it.
Interesting.
I mean, how much dedication does really, like, how much dedication do you put towards this? Is it like, I mean, every single day, obviously, but then I think I heard a story actually about you flying to see your trainer to make sure you got your training in.
That is true. He took me to Disney World one time, which was kind of cool, but he was on a family trip, right? But I had a fight coming up, and he was like, well, I don't know, I'm going to be gone for a week. I guess you're just coming with us. So that's the kind of thing that it's for training, and it's also because, like, he's basically like my family now. You know, you get really close to people in boxing. The community is really amazing, and that's part of why I do it too.
I mean, you're so sweet, and I don't see any bumps and bruises on you. Are people surprised hearing that you're a boxer? When
I don't think I look very tough. You know, like I don't look.
Also, you showed up in a sweatshirt, and we wanted to see your big guns. But
They're under there right now, for sure. But no, I do. Every once in a while, I'll be walking around with, you know, a black eye or bruises on my face. And that causes some concern from strangers, but yeah, I think it's kind of surprising, especially for women. It's not like, it's still not something that's extremely mainstream.
Well, speaking of women, let's go a little bit deeper before we let you go. If you could talk to the little girls at home that are listening to you, what would you say?
Yeah, I mean, it's so amazing that now we're seeing more and more younger girls getting into not just boxing, but sports in general. And we're seeing like the gap close. Like, I think in 20 years, the way we talk about athletics is going to be so different between boys and girls. But any little girl like who wants to give boxing a try, it's an amazing way to release energy. It makes you feel confident. It makes you feel strong. It gives you discipline. I would definitely say go for it.
Okay. Right. Hey, we have something from the live studio audience. You guys held up a white sheet.
Ask her about Clarissa Shields. Like, what is she?
Ask her about Clarissa Shields.
So prominent in the sport.
Yeah. Well, so Clarissa Shields, for those who don't know, was a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. Now she's a professional who's, I believe, 3 times undisputed world champion in different weight classes. She fights at my weight class. That's where she started, at middleweight. So she's the big bad kind of for my weight class, and I respect her so much in terms of what she's done for the sport. what she's done for women's boxing, and also because she's someone I could potentially compete with in the future, I got to look at her a little bit as a potential opponent, and I would love to fight her someday. I've always said I just want to fight the best, see how far I can push myself. That's my goal.
Well, Olivia, you know, this is honestly the manifestation camera right here. Camera run, I guess, for you. So I'm going to pressure you right now because you're a pressure fighter. What's your biggest goal? And I want you to say it right there into this camera.
My biggest goal is I want to be undisputed middleweight world champion, and the first step to that is coming this Friday. You heard it here first. I'm going to win 2 belts, bring them back to Chicago.
Hey, Olivia! Thank you so much. You are so awesome. I have a question for you, though. So one of these days, can you go to the bar with me, and can we try to, and we're both going to be wearing sweatshirts, can we try to do a push-up contest against somebody else and try to, like...
We could do it right now. I guess we have to dress up.
Should we do a push-up? How many push-ups do you think you could do?
Well, I usually can do some, but my wrist is a little injured.
Oh, perfect. So
and I don't know if I got the one, but I could bang out a couple if you want. You were gonna do push-ups and heels?
I'm gonna do push-ups and heels.
All right, let's go.
Can you guys get this? Yeah, you guys are on camera. Okay, let's do.
Okay.
I think you might take me. You might.
9 push-ups?
9, sure, yeah.
You might take me in this. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, I'm gonna stand on Gabby's back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Woo!
I was about to do one. Hey, you got it.
All right.
Go, girls. Gabby's up next in the ring.
You know what? It's so funny. I've been telling my husband I've been jonesing for a push-up contest. I don't know what it is.
You were prepping
Not
for
against
a wedding.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
I mean, maybe you got to start
So
hitting
thank you.
people. Maybe come through to the gym, you know?
Oh, you're right. I
Could you
should.
do it, Gabby? Could you do it? When
I
she
don't
said
know.
she's jonesing for fights, I'm like, no, thank
Maybe
you.
I need some more pent-up anger, and then I'll be there. With
Okay.
you, Olivia.
All right.
But I'll be there in the stands cheering you on when you hit that goal. I am out of breath.
Yes,
So much
Curry,
to
your
talk
fight
about. Olivia,
live
thank you
streamed
so much.
on DAZN, D-A-Z-N.
DAZN, the boxing channel DAZN.
DAZN.
It'll be this
One
Friday.
more thing for you. Can you share your social media handles for people at home?
Yes, like any ambitious millennial, I'm on Instagram at Olivia Rose Curry.
I love it. All right,
Thank you very much.
10:48, catch your breath, ladies. Catch your breath. We'll be right back.
welcome back to Chicago Now. Now for our next guest, we're not going to make them do a push-up contest with us.
We might.
Well, maybe. Actually,
over the camera. No, just kidding.
It might be hard. We should have warned them. We also should have warned Olivia, but she was great. Now switching gears, this is a topic that we touched on the beginning of the show. Should cell phones be in the classroom? Well, there's one organization that's really rethinking cell phones in the classroom. And New York has already put a ban in place, so has Los Angeles. And yeah, it's just continuing to be a topic of conversation.
That's right. And we're going to be joined by Shawna Rosenzweig. She's the president of Campfire National Headquarters. And this place has over a decade of experience in positive youth development. She joins us now. Good morning to you. Thank you for joining us. I don't know if we might be able to hear her in a moment, but we're talking about the broader implications of cell phone addiction among youth and how it impacts their social and emotional development. And then we'll get into the weeds about how parents can help their child with this addiction that we all have, even as parents, to our cell phones. So can we see if we can hear you now?
Oh, we'll
Not
take a little
quite.
bit more
Are
time.
you on mute, maybe, Shawna?
Let's
see if we'll
we
get
can
that.
work this out.
She's working on it.
You know, one thing I want to ask you, and maybe, you know, Shawna will be able to chat about it, but your kids, they're just getting into school, so this is kind of far ahead before maybe they get cell phones, but what do you think it's going to be like, you know, 10, 15 years from now when it comes to cell phones in the classroom? How are they going to be able to make sure
Focus?
they're focused, or make sure they're even like away from the vicinity?
I don't know. I mean, you were in college, you said, you know, you guys had cell phones as a thing in college. When I went through school, it was not really an issue. I think even with my little one now, now mind you, she's in kindergarten, but we got her even this little watch that she could call us on in case something happens or there was an emergency. But even that, I mean, I could imagine it as a distraction. I can't even begin to comprehend what it's like with the social media, the Instagrams, the Facebooks. I mean, people at work have issues focusing, and in school on top of that, I mean, with your phone, you can loop in AI. You can ask ChatGPT.
Exactly. You could do this in a little test.
Yeah, that would be the thing.
Imagine you could even wear hats in high school, like during tests or anything like that. Or sometimes they check the inside of my classmates' water bottles. Maybe it was a notorious cheaters.
Way.
But you know what? We're going to try to bring back up Shawna, who's the CEO of Campfire, and to talk about this conversation, because we know that really you are the expert, Shawna. So yeah, what are your initial thoughts, knowing that cell phone bans are kind of a buzzword right now, a really popular topic of discussion?
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. Are you able to hear me this time?
Yes, we gotcha.
Perfect. Okay, good morning. Thank you for having me. You're right. Cell phones are a hot topic in all our lives. And, you know, where I really recommend starting is have a conversation with the young people in their lives, right? Ideally, it's before the cell phone bans take effect in their school, because that really helps them start to kind of surface some of the anxieties that they may be feeling, really for both young people and for their parents, right? There's a lot of feelings, as phones often, you know, as we know, are both the crutch in terms of, oh, I need a minute to reset, I need a break from some of the social pressures, but it's also, you know, here's how I get in touch with folks. How do I reach out to my parents, or how do I get in touch with my kid if their schedule changes? So really starting to have conversations about potential bans, or even taking a break at home, right? Having phone-free dinners is a great place to start the conversation with your young people.
So let's talk about your organization, Campfire National Headquarters, and what you guys do.
Yeah, so Campfire is all about connection. So we have everything from after-school programs to summer day camps and overnight camps that really do three things. We connect young people to the outdoors, so get young people off their phones and outside, right? They're learning new coping skills, they're gaining resilient skills as they're trying new things, right? They're also understanding that just going for a walk outside can really kind of help reset your nervous system. We also are building connections with each other. So Campfire is a place where you are building friendships and relationships, learning how to work with people of all types. And then it's also about connecting to yourself, really building a positive sense of identity, of who you are and who you want to become. So we love what we do at Campfire. We're in the out-of-school time space, but are certainly a key partner in supporting schools as they support young people's well-being.
So where do you even start, though? Because, you know, that can be easier said than done, right, to be on your phone less. But do you start maybe with 30 minutes, or those dinners, or maybe even once a week you have half a day when you're not on your cell phone? Like, how do you introduce introduce that?
Yeah, so you're exactly right. I think introducing small chunks of time, right? What are the things that are going to help you kind of gain confidence in a bite-sized manner? The other place I recommend starting is in those moments of where you notice a young person is feeling maybe stressed or anxiety, or, you know, kind of starting some of the doom scrolling. That's a great moment to introduce some alternative options for them to pick from. Maybe it's grabbing a book. Maybe it's going outside and going for a walk together. Maybe instead of texting, it's, you know, journaling for a few minutes, some of the stressors or anxieties that the young person is feeling. So also introducing some new ways to cope and process that don't involve technology are really helpful ways, so that, yeah, if a young person finds themselves in a school with a cell phone ban, they have some strategies already in place that they know that they can use.
Shawna, I'm sure you guys have done extensive research about cell phone usage and how it affects young ones. In your experience and what you've learned, when would you suggest that we give cell phones to our kids? I know that Anthony, somebody who works here, he has a wait till 8th campaign, so wait till 8th grade to give his kids their cell phones. Is that around the age that you think is appropriate, or is it past there? What are you thinking?
Yeah, so it's a great question. You know, as both an educator and as a parent, you know, there is no one right answer, unfortunately. And I am going through this with my 5th grader who, you know, every other day is saying, can I get a phone? You know, my answer to her is not yet. But, you know, again, I think it's really about kind of assessing your child's readiness, understanding if they have a clear understanding of, you know, both the positives and negatives of cell phone use, right? It's a great way to kind of start to educate them about algorithms and how, you know, social media is designed to really be addictive, right? And so giving young people, again, some of the tools and the resources and the critical thinking skills to really be able to engage in that conversation before making a decision. And, you know, and you also touched on earlier, right? There's also alternatives to phones, right? Watches, et cetera, that provide ways to communicate with your young person without kind of giving them full reign of everything that comes with having a cell phone these days.
But do you find that those watches and stuff are also kind of in the same realm as a cell phone, that it shouldn't be in the classroom? Or teachers also kind of, you know, putting that in a lockdown? Yeah, I mean, certainly, you know, for my school district, yes, that absolutely is the case, right? That in addition to phones being put away, so are smartwatches. And again, it's really thinking about where are the distractions, right? And you know, or different modes of communication. And so again, yeah, smartwatches can be that as well. And that's where, you know, for parents and for, you know, caregivers, there's a really important kind of research period to understand what are the options out there, what are the different parental controls that you can put in place, you know, and what are your priorities? Is it about being able to communicate with your child? Is it about knowing where they're located? So having the opportunity to really understand kind of what are the needs, what are the priorities you're looking to meet with technology and your young person, and then you're able to make an educated decision from there.
All right, Shawna, if you have a website, a social media account that parents could go for more information, where should they go?
Yeah, yes, please check us out at campfire.org. Our programs are great places to get young people off their phones and outdoors and build some of those skills that we want young people to be walking away with, like tolerance, resilience, boundaries with technology.
Beautiful.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Shawna. I mean, you're a wealth of information. We're going to have you back for like a 20-minute interview, honestly, because we need to know what we're going to be in the next 10 to 15 years.
Yeah.
I think that's another big topic of conversation. So we appreciate your time.
We all need help.
Thank you. As long as there's no push-ups, I'll be there.
Okay. Hey,
there might
get
be
training.
push-ups,
I can't
right?
promise that.
All right, I got to swap out with Tia.
Oh, I've had
Moving
so
into
much
the
fun
11
with
o'clock
you.
hour.
Thank
This was
you,
so
Caitlin.
fun. And
Yes.
welcome back, Gabby.
Thank you very much. You made me feel so special. Yes, we'll be back in the 11 o'clock hour. I'm going to be joined by Tia Ewing.
Fox.
11 o'clock hour of Chicago Now. I am just honored to be joined by my Tia Ewing. I missed you.
Did you?
Yes.
You went and got married. You didn't miss me.
You know what?
You were living your best life, honeymooning.
Doing some R&R.
Probably doing some other stuff.
I was good. But I thought of you often and fondly.
You missed what I said, didn't you? Or you just ignored me?
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, I've caught a couple of shows and I'm like, oh, Tia, I wish I were there. You were so funny. Okay, we have a lot to get to today, including a very special guest, which Tia will tee up here in a second. But do you know your zodiac sign? Actually, of course you know your zodiac sign.
Yeah, it's one of the best signs in the world.
Because it's my sign,
Leo.
too.
We're both Leos. Yeah.
And it shows, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But actually, there's some new research coming out that actually things might be a little different. Stars might be aligning.
Differently than we think.
Differently than we think.
Okay, got it.
So we'll get more into that because it's very complicated and it's hard to tease. So just stay. That's my tease.
Okay.
And then also, switching gears a little bit, we're talking to Block Club Chicago. It's suing ICE and Homeland Security, accusing them of breaking transparency laws. So we'll speak with the investigative reporter on the story a little later in the show as well. But first,
we have comedian Lil Rel in the house. Give him a round of applause. It's not enough people in here.
This is a studio audience.
We only got 3 people in here. Who's gonna clap?
They're mighty. They're mighty. They're mighty.
So since we're talking zodiac signs, what's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Sagittarius.
And what do you know about Sagittarius? What is there to know?
Nothing. I'm not.
You're not into that?
I don't believe in the sign. I think it's like a cheat code that most people try to use to figure you out, but nobody's really exactly like those signs.
That's true. We're like an excuse for bad behavior sometimes, I think.
Very true, very true. And I think that you're on other parts of the realm. Either you're really into it and you can point out someone's zodiac sign right away, or you don't care.
I think a lot of single people love zodiac signs.
So, for what purpose, though?
Because they want to figure. It's a cheat code. Like, people think if I know what your thing is, I know everything about you, and it's insane to me.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Okay, so you're in Chicago. You're back in your hometown. You're from the West Side. Kind of walk us through your journey. I've known you, I think, like 10 years almost. I think it's coming up on.
Maybe so,
and I've kind of like watched you, you know, go through this journey of really amazingness. And what you said to me is like you feel like you're in your best era yet.
Yeah, this has been just in life in general. Like, the career stuff is going good, like the movies and all that stuff. I just directed my first feature, which premieres at the Fantastic Fest this weekend.
Oh, awesome!
So I'm excited about that, and that's a whole nother lane I'm jumping in is directing, and I love it, and I can't wait for people to see what my lens look like and my voice look like from behind the camera. But yeah, I feel great. You know, this is probably the best shape I've ever been in. Still engaged, but we may have
something you're gonna announce soon.
Soon, yeah.
I
even said, she probably like, don't be telling nobody. But yeah, everything is good, man. Life is good, and it's being here in Chicago for year 2. The What's Funny Comedy Festival is even. The last few days have been great, so I'm just excited about the next few days too.
We're showing your special that's on Tubi.
Yes.
That's the picture for Real Talk. Tell us what people can expect. It just dropped not too long ago on Tubi. It dropped on September 5th.
Yeah. So I shot that last year to close out the festival, year 1, right?
Okay.
Shot it independently. I put my own bread up, I own it, I licensed it and made a deal with Tubi, a partnership. So it's Tubi's first original special.
Wow, awesome.
You know what I mean? And so like, you know, this is just a sneak peek of what our relationship is about to be. They actually just sent me an offer to direct a movie.
Direct what? Come on, you can't just leave us hanging
That's
like
funny,
that.
But I can't even say yet because I ain't said yes to it yet. I still gotta read the script, but it's really fascinating who's starring in it. So,
and when you say that, is that like a big name? Is that like
it's a big hip hop name, and it's very interesting. It's very. I got to see what the script is before I say yes.
Is this person? You can't say that to a journalist. Is this person connected to Chicago or?
No, but Chicago loves her though. So it's
a she. Okay, we got that far.
Yeah. So, but I got to read the script. It just came to me to offer, so I need to read. After this festival is over with, I'm gonna sit down and read the script, maybe on the plane.
So let me ask you something. Do you, because you said you have to read the script, which makes me think you have to decide, right, if you're gonna say yes or no.
Yeah.
What kind of jobs do you say no to when work comes your way and you're like, I don't really want to do that? Has somebody tried to get you to do a nude scene or?
I don't mind. I mean, it's a.
Oh, you don't mind? Okay.
Like the sex scenes is fun and whatever. So but that's not a big deal to me. It's more or less about the content. Like if it's really good, if it's something I'll watch.
Okay.
And so that's what I'm big. So everything I've done is literally movies that I will watch.
So I'm thinking about like some of the movies and TV shows you've done. I don't recall a sex scene. Have you done
Insecure, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yep. Insecure.
And that was fun for you.
It was great.
Oh.
I mean, I like, no, that sounds crazy. No, in the context of the character.
You know, we're immature. We're immature.
You know, I'm like, yeah.
Don't laugh.
No, shout out to Yvonne.
Now it's getting hot here.
But it's funny, when Issa told me I had a sex scene, we were shooting at, we did this video for Jay-Z, like when we redid Friends.
Yeah.
Like the black version of it. And that's when she told me, like, so you ready for your sex scene? I'm like, sex scene? I wasn't ready, but yeah, that was interesting.
Is it really just dropped on you like that?
Yeah, she dropped it on me like that, and it's kind of nerve-wracking because you have to put on a sock.
A sock on what? I mean, on your private areas?
Yeah.
And so what about the woman? What is the woman wearing in this?
It depends on what she's comfortable with. And so, you know, you got an intimacy coach and all that stuff. And so, you know, Yvonne had a few scenes already with different characters, so she kind of was, you know, whatever.
She's warmed up.
So was she completely nude, or?
No, we didn't go full nude. We had like my pants was off. Yeah.
Go watch it.
Well, I don't know.
Just leave it. Watch it by yourself.
You know, I don't think I've ever talked about it before with nobody outside of coming home. That's funny.
Oh my goodness.
But I gotta go back to that because I'm the wild card on the show. I always go like completely left. So like when you talk about an intimacy coach, are they kind of walking you through to make you feel comfortable? Because now you're doing something that maybe you're used to doing, but maybe not in front of a camera where everybody's gonna see. Or maybe you do it in front of you. I don't know.
You have to do that. Like it's very important because everybody have to be comfortable, right? And so like, you know, with the kissing and it's funny because everybody think it's real sexual, but it's tough to be into it like that because it's cameras and you have to position your body
and people.
Yeah. So but they do a good job of not making sure it's a lot of people on set. It's like a limited amount of people.
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
Interesting.
Makes sense to me. Yeah.
But before you did it, were you like briefed on other people's experiences, or afterwards?
Nah, I kind of just, once again, me and Yvonne are friends, so we had a discussion, and it's funny, we did vacation friends together, so we've had make out scenes before, you know, it's
a whole thing.
I think it's a thing. Now that I think about it, like, oh yeah, I done kissed her a couple of times.
Okay, let me ask you, being though that, you know, you are in relationship, you know, and your relationship is moving towards, you know, a little more permanency.
Yeah.
How does that conversation go? Like when you have been in a relationship because some women aren't comfortable with that.
I mean, honestly,
you gotta be,
if you're dating me, this is a part of me. So it is what it is. You know, it's a little interesting now just because there's other stuff I'm about to do that, you know. So I don't know, we'll see.
Wait, you can't see. Listen, you can't keep doing that.
I work all the time.
It's a lot of cliffhangers.
It's stuff happening. It's stuff in the works.
So I know you have some projects coming up. Unexpected Christmas is one of them.
Yep.
You also have, what is it, Code 3?
Code 3's out now.
And what else? Because it sounds like based on that statement, some more is coming.
It's a gang of stuff. So 100 Heist is the movie I directed and starred in.
Yeah.
Me, Tiffany Haddish, Carlos Miller, and King Batch. Really excited about that. Animal Friends is a movie I did with Ryan Reynolds and Jason Momoa. They keep pushing it, so I think it's gonna be the first half of next year. What else? Man, honestly, it's a gang of stuff, but Code 3 and Unexpected Christmas, which I've screened at the festival.
Right.
Both movies, and the reaction has been great so far. People love Unexpected Christmas.
It's funny.
It's a
from
great.
What I've seen.
It's gonna be. I love the reaction because I had an audience watch it, and so to finally see an audience watch it was great. And then the special, man, go to Tubi. Like that's a big deal. Like I own it, and I'm building a relationship with Tubi. You know, where I want to curate more specials and which is why the festival is tied into it. It's like it's a lot happening with that. So it's ownership.
I do have a question because we're talking about what's Funny Comedy Festival coming up, but you know, like. Honestly, I think you're hilarious.
Right.
But when I think of you, I've seen you in so many movies. I see you as an actor.
Yeah.
So do you have a lot of people who, you know, either see you as one or the other, and are you trying to really close that gap so they see you as both?
No, I mean, I've never really, it's a blessing in disguise because comedy is what got me to where I'm at, right? And then, you know, you do a movie like Get Out and start doing more films, and they're like, wait a minute. So like I've surprised audiences when I go on the road, and they're like, wait, we didn't know you was this funny. I'm like, yeah, this is how I got here.
Right.
Which is actually was one of the topics in our panel discussion yesterday was, you know, one of the comics was like, yeah, Rel, most people know you as an actor now, but I'm like, that's how good of an actor I am. And then like, you know, especially with the Tubi special happening now and it's a new audience watching me, they are always in shock about how good I am at stand-up. I'm like, I wouldn't have got none of that stuff if it wasn't for stand-up comedy.
Let me ask you this. Is there someone that you want to work with that you haven't worked with yet? And then if you had to say like who your comedic icon is, or like maybe even a friend that you lean on in the industry, who would those people be?
It is Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy is who, and it's been close a couple times. A couple movies I was right here, and I'm like, and he's the guy. Like, I want to work with him, either it could be on screen or direct him, because he still got it, and I feel like I'll be the director that can really help bring that thing Eddie has out and let him do his thing.
Are you good friends? Because I want to say I remember this with Tiffany Haddish.
That's
that like
one of my best friends.
Like a sister to you.
That's one of my best friends, and like once again, she's at Hunter Heights, and she's a big reason why we got a lot of the funding for the movie. So I love I can call her, and her team was like, I'm like, but she's like, nope, I'm doing it, and I love that, and it's so good too, and to like direct your friend, and like. And that's one of my favorite people, just the stuff she's doing, like charitable wise. She has such a big heart, and I'm just so proud of her. I'm proud to call her my friend.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, you're surrounded by a lot of big names, you a big name yourself. You know, is it easy for you now at this point to be able to point out like, okay, who is the right person to have on my team, have in my court?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, like when you think about friendships, right? And, you know, I look at, like, and I still pinch myself with certain friendships. Like, you know, Ryan Reynolds is one of my favorite actors. And when we did Free Guy, I remember we were shooting and I was like watching him do this, like literally watching him do the scene, and I had a line, and it was like, Rel. I was like, oh, I was watching him perform. Oh, sorry, it was weird. And I literally had to tell the whole crew, like, Ryan, like, I'm like losing I'm like a huge fan, dude. And you're like, and now we're friends, and which is so crazy to me, but he's such a dope dude. I like that he's actually nicer and doper than I thought he was gonna be.
I like to hear that. Let me ask you this, because when I met you, I was working in Cleveland. This was like 10 years ago. You were there for doing comedy, doing stand-up. How did you like maneuver so much within this little amount of time, if you really look at it, to be where you are today? Talk about the grind that goes into that.
Being from Chicago, like once you let a Chicago person into something, it's a wrap.
You're right. We kicked the door down.
Once we in, it's like I'm not going back. And so like even where I'm at now, like I've learned the business of this. So like now I've been even more excited because I figured out how to be a businessman in the business, right? And so like once you get me, you know, I think that's one of the reasons why I have such success is like I've gotten great advice from like Sid the Entertainer and Bill Bellamy and all these amazing guys who open up doors for me. D. Ray Davis, who's from here. And it's like I take that advice and I run with it. You give me some advice, I'm gone.
Yeah. Do you think like people like, because when I think about the business side and I think about like who kind of like is trying to own what they do, the first person I think of is Kevin Hart. Is someone who has really done very well at that. Do you think seeing people like that is kind of like an inspiration to you? Like, how did you get into the business side? Because oftentimes, you know, we're performing for everybody else and we don't really own it.
Well, the strike. You know, it was something I prayed about, and when it was happening, I'm like, man, I don't want to keep being on the side where we begging. Begging, you give us this, give us that. Like, I wanted to think, why do the CEOs don't want to give us this? And so you have to lean into what the entire business model of everything is. Even just how to raise money, how to get financing. And so, like, you know, honestly, to be honest with you, Tyler Perry right now is somebody like, outside of George Lucas and Steven Spielberg, who I absolutely love, Tyler Perry is somebody like recently, more the last few years, that I look up to. Like, he's so smart, so just his business sense and his commitment to his voice and his audience. He's brilliant. And so I've been really looking at the way that brother figured some things out business-wise. And that's, you know, like you said, you brought up Kevin, and you think about the Robert Townsends and Keenan Ivory Waynes. I just think about all these different models that people have created. And so for me, I've figured out a way to kind of combine forces, which is why I will go to a Tubi, not to say I want to sell you something. I'm like, yo, how can I become an executive over here and be in charge of your comedy?
That's a good point.
Well, it is. Honestly, I think that people are probably going to put you in that same circle one day, because I could see you probably being a mentor for others in the future. Is that a goal of yours?
That's what this festival is about. You know, like what makes me feel good about putting this on is, and honestly, the festival became even more motivation that I actually could pull off an ideal of being a being a boss in something, right? I wanted to create where like we create opportunities for these comics, man. I did a lot of these festivals over the years, and like a lot of the black and brown comedians, they always kind of put to the side and like get them minimum shows. In this festival, we stand out in it, you know what I'm saying? So like that was such a big deal to me. So like it's bigger than just giving back, but like you said, it's like creating opportunities for people, because I really love this, and I love helping other people's dreams come true.
So we're going to play a game with you after this break. We're not going to break yet, but I want to ask you one quick question, because I know being on the road, being like this movie star, you run into some crazy situations. And I ask everybody that is like a big name that sits in that chair, I ask them, what is the craziest thing that you can talk about on TV that has happened to you since you've been in this position?
You know,
with a fan, or
I tell you something recently, and it's not even,
I was gonna say a light went off.
Unfortunately, too, I don't even know if it's funny, because I was just, before I got here, I was shooting a movie, just shot this movie where I played this angel or whatever in Baltimore.
Okay.
And so we're doing a car scene, right? We're literally driving around a corner, and I'm in character, I'm acting, and I hear an argument. And I look over, and it's a full-blown argument. I'm like, yo, we need to cut, because I think this is a real argument. They're like, oh, real? I'm like, no, I'm telling you, like, it looked like they really arguing. We literally go around the corner, you hear pop, 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 pop. 5 shots. And I saw the guy running it was crazy, and that just happened. Dang, they probably didn't want me to tell that on.
It's okay, you didn't tell them.
I'm not thinking about probably what he's.
Did anybody get arrested? Was anybody out?
Everybody's okay. Everybody was safe. The police. Dang,
Good.
I guess that was still in me to say that. I should have said that.
I think
Never mind, y'all made that up, man.
No, it was trauma.
They still shooting the movie. Oh my God.
Well, it probably was trauma,
I can't believe I just told y'all.
you're comfortable with us. That's why. That's
what it was. I forgot we were shooting this. I wasn't supposed to say that. Oh, that's
sex scenes. We talk about.
I didn't even tell my team what happened.
But it's probably trauma, and you needed to get it out.
You know what's interesting? Maybe that's what. Godly. All right, I said it.
Let me ask you something else. Two ladies out there now. You said that you worked on yourself, and you know this is what. Let's bring it back to this part. There's a lot of people that are afraid to work on themselves, you know, to open up the can of worms. Therapy, that's one thing that I know that you explored, and maybe you're still exploring that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people should,
yeah,
but they don't. And especially for men, what made you get to that point where you're like, you know what, I got to deal with some of the issues that I'm dealing with, maybe in my past and maybe right now?
So it's interesting. That's a great question. Like, at some point, I wanted to be more present. I feel like I had all these great moments that happened in my life and my career, and I wasn't necessarily present because I was dealing with the trauma of other things. It's kind of crazy. Like, I haven't drank. It's almost been 2 years since I had a drink, and that was important to me to stop drinking, right? Because I was drinking out of like anxiety, and I was nervous on those carpets half the time, so I would get, and so I missed out on experience a lot of big moments that I don't even like remember exactly because I was so nervous.
Yeah.
And so I had to deal with that. I had to like start learning to deal with, you know, the trauma from losing my mom and my brother, and even gaining success. You know, you have a moment where you start to feel bad about it, right? You like, dang, do I deserve this? There's other people I know that was just as talented and things like that. So, man, when I started going to therapy, it just opened up things I didn't even know that was like bottled up inside. And once again, being from Chicago, it was things I just got used to that I should have never just got used to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we deal with PTSD every day, and we don't think anything about it.
And we don't think nothing about it. And so going to therapy opened up all of that. But then, honestly, it also made me start reaching out to my brothers a lot more. You know, telling my friends I love them, men. You know what I'm saying? Giving them a real hug. You know what I'm saying? Being there for them. So, like, therapy has been such a blessing for me, and it's like made even things better with me in my relationship with Danella, my fiance. It's like, you know, it's funny, we had like a tough period, but because we both go to therapy, us talking it out was next level.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's what I didn't do in these past relationships.
I hope some men are listening. Take some notes.
Thank you for
It's okay to go to therapy. Yeah, for
No,
sure.
seriously, like, it's interesting when you put yourself, when we see things from your perspective.
Yeah.
And that became very important. A lot of times we victim ourselves all the time, but like just literally like understanding her perspective and being like, you know something, I was wrong, my bad.
And were you the person to oftentimes admit when you were wrong? or were you kind of like a deflector?
I think I was a deflector. I think both of us was, because you know what's interesting, like me and her in our 40s, and you know, this is our second time around being married. You put up this guard to protect yourself. Like I even had to get rid of, I created a persona for myself. I didn't even know I did. That started when I was like 16. That I like kept it going. It got me to where I'm at, but it wasn't who I am. And you know, at some point I had the persona running things. And because of therapy and working through myself, I was able to drop that, be my authentic self. And that's why I'm saying this is like the most I've ever enjoyed my career, my life. I'm talking about like, even just being on sets now, like to really like enjoy everybody. Then when I directed that movie and got to know the whole crew, I've been in this beautiful place where like I've been so present. Like even just sitting here and being here this week, every single day just watching the comedians walk up to me, thanking me and being excited and giving them this information and this advice. I just like being present now, and I'm so present.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's absolutely, and it's good advice for everybody.
It is really.
To really
you
take
shared
heed.
a lot of good advice for everybody, so thank you so much. But we're not done with you yet.
No, but I got one more question before we go to break.
Oh gosh.
When you got all this money, okay, when you got all this money, the first lump sum, what was the craziest thing that you bought? Because I think everybody got something that they're like, if I ever win the lottery, I'm gonna buy me this.
I did a couple of things kind
Give
of
me
at the
one.
same time.
Give me one. Or two, or three.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I'm nosy.
it was crazy. Like, I think buying my first G-Wagon.
Okay. First, so that means there was another.
That was a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was. Well, no, that's not it. This is what it is. I bought my first Benz, but I bought it with a bag of cash.
What?
I showed up at the car dealership in LA. It's a true story. And I remember Gerard Carmichael being like, "What is wrong with you? Why are you doing that?" I'm like, "Man, this is like a hood dream."
So
I showed up in there. I said, "Give me that card." He was like, "Well, da da da." I was like, "Man, I got 20 stacks on me." He's like, "Okay, here."
Gave you the keys.
Gave me the keys, yeah.
But I'm sure since all of that, you've learned like more financial. Nothing wrong with that, but as you grow older, there's more financial.
It's funny. I've inspired other people to buy cars with cash, because you at least do it once. It feels dope.
I mean, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But no, yeah, I got like, I got business managers and all that good stuff. But yeah, that first little chunk was just like, all right, let me go. But I just wanted to, I showed up with a bag.
Was this a garbage bag?
No, it was like, one of like.
It's a nice bag.
Luggage bag.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Did one of these.
You still have that Benz?
Well, I've gotten
plenty of cars since then.
Yeah, just pass one over, okay?
Let us whip one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to be talking about some other stuff with Rel. He doesn't know it's coming. This is going to be a little fun. Can you sing a little bit?
You know something? Yes.
Are you
my kids be thinking I sang it. So I did a show called Win or Lose. That's on Disney Plus, and I thought I sound great, and then Eureka, I sing in that, and then I just dang, I can't.
Just telling all us.
Proud family. I'm in a cool Christmas episode where I'm putting it down.
So can you dance?
Can I dance? Yeah, I can dance.
Okay, so you're the triple threat. All right, we're gonna test out the singing skills. When we come back, we'll be right back, everybody.
What did I get myself into?
welcome back to Chicago Now. Rel, I know you got your photographer in here with your videographer. She may as well come on over because this is going to be something she wants to capture on camera because we are about to play for the first time ever, Finish That Sitcom Jingle. Can I get a round of applause, audience?
Oh, wait, I got a round of applause right here.
Okay.
Right here, Tia.
So here's the first one. Are you ready?
This is all Tia, by the way.
Yes,
Rel,
it is.
Right? Don't
Now, this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down.
And I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you how we became a picture of the time of Bel Air. I mumbled it, but I said it. It was close.
Very good, very good.
Okay, mine is short.
Okay.
Mine is short. Thank you for being a friend.
Run it back again. My heart is true. You're my girl and a confidant.
Oh, pretty good. Okay, all right. I know you know this one. Well, we're moving on up.
Moving on up.
To the... You got to finish.
East side. To the trees, the apartments, and the sky.
Okay, very good. You want me to do this? Okay, wait. Let me see if I can remember this. It's a rare... I don't remember this one. I ain't gonna lie.
It's a rare condition in this day and age to read what the newspapers say.
What's the rest?
And a strange design.
Some people say
it's even harder to find.
Yeah, that's a good one. Okay.
Hey.
All right, and here's the next one. You know this one? Here's the story.
You guys, I'm like 10.
Of a lovely lady
who is super to
three very lovely girls. Very good. What show was that?
The Brady Bunch.
Very good, very good. Okay, wow, very good. Round of applause.
TV nerd.
We only got like 2 people in here and ain't nobody clapping.
Hey, come on, you guys
help us out.
Y'all done forgot some classics. Y'all forgot Charles in Charge. Charles in Charge of our days and our nights. Okay.
Well, apparently you know a lot of them, but we were like, we wanted to sprinkle some games in here. Okay, so this is a version of This or That Chicago style.
Okay.
You do
Harold's Chicken or Uncle Remus?
I'm from out west, so I should say Uncle Remus, but I eat a lot of Harold's Chicken.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, deep dish or thin crust cut in squares?
Thin crust, cut in squares. Yep.
Okay, Jordan era Bulls or Derrick Rose Bulls?
Jordan era Bulls.
All right. Summer on the link front or summer in the block party?
Summer at a block party.
Okay. Doonch, doonch, doonch. House music or drill rap? What it is, though.
House music.
I don't even know.
Now, I'm old. House music.
Okay.
Yeah.
Taste of Chicago?
Or Bud Billiken Parade?
The Bud Billiken Parade.
Okay.
Yeah.
I already think I know that. I don't know if I know the answer to this. 79th Street or 63rd Street?
I mean, none of them. I'm from the west.
Fair enough. Okay.
All right, this is a hard one. Lou Malnati's or Giordano's?
Ooh, you know something? None of those are my favorites.
What's your favorite?
I like Beggar's Pizza.
I do too,
Beggar's
actually.
I love Beggar's. I just
had that a week ago.
Okay, stepping or footworking?
Stepping.
Okay.
And I love footwork, don't get me wrong.
Can you do it?
No, that's why stepping is perfect.
You the triple threat.
Yeah, but stepping is where I'm at now. I'm in the smooth era. This is my smooth era. I can't be out here. I can't do the footwork. I ain't got the energy.
You beat a fell out.
My knees go out and tear my Achilles.
On the show?
I'm not doing.
Millennium Park or Navy Pier?
Navy Pier.
West Side or South Side?
West Side all day.
All right, Italian beef, dipped or dry, or Maxwell Street Polish?
Italian beef dipped.
This is a hard
peppers.
one. I think this is a hard one. This is our last one too. Kanye or Common?
Ooh, you know what's crazy about that?
What?
So Common broke my friend's heart.
What? Oh yes,
So,
we know what that is.
You know what that is, because I remember when they broke up, I was so mad, because I was like, I was fighting for you.
Are you supposed to say this on TV?
I don't care now.
Yeah, it's off.
Square up, Common, you ready to fight him?
So Ye is tough, because I love Ye music, but he's, I don't know, man. That's a tough.
Sounds like you going
How
with
about just Crucial Conflict? I love him.
Crucial Conflict. Come out and play.
Thank y'all. Yeah, do or die. The brat.
Any final words before we let you go? It's been fun.
Look, the What's Funny Comedy Festival is happening right now. Tonight I have my show at the Comedy Bar. You can go to www.whatsfunnycomedyfestival.com to see the amazing lineup of comedians, amazing hosts we got. We got shows all week long. I'm telling y'all, it's gonna be exciting. I'm so excited to hit the stage tonight. I've been shooting movies back to back, and I got a vent.
Okay, perfect.
Well, thank you so much. It's been such an honor. It's been an honor, honestly.
Thank y'all so much for
We're
having
thankful
me.
that you came on.
I knew you 10 years. I knew you 10 minutes. I'm in love with you.
Oh, okay. You just got married. And he's trying to, he's about to get married.
Friendship love.
Oh, okay, okay.
Thank you.
Okay. That was real endearing. All right, we'll be right back after this break.
Fox Local.
Welcome back to Chicago Now with your two favorite Leos right here.
In the building.
And
don't get it
like
twisted.
I always say,
Yes.
it shows. It shows. I'm not going to lie. When we're looking at the facts, it shows. Okay, so most of us, we know our zodiac sign, but I'm going to read this here. But what if we told you it might be 2,000 years out of date because of Earth's slow wobble? Constellations no longer line up with the signs we've grown up with. So we're bringing an expert. We're bringing Angie Banicki to help us make sense of the stars, the signs, and why astrology still resonates today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I've got two Leos with me.
Yeah, we got to break that down. So does that mean that we wouldn't really be what we've become accustomed to when it comes to a Leo?
Okay, so here's my take on all of this. I believe it's a little bit of both and. And as I've been playing with this and reviewing some of the research, we can take this and it's to our advantage to use a little bit of the both and. Can either of you think of some Cancer tendencies that perhaps you've felt in your life? Like maybe you get sort of sensitive, or you pick up on other people's feelings, or you notice how the moon affects you. I played with this with so many clients, even this weekend, because I actually read tarot cards also, and I was reading cards for some women, and we were doing their kids, and one of the sons came up and I was like, oh, he's like air and just like fiery and kind of like all over the place, a little bit spastic. And they were like, it's so wild you say that. I was like, it's like he's a Gemini. And they were like, he's actually a Cancer. And so I brought up this article and I said, how great for you to know he's got a little bit of this Gemini. And the mother was just in shock. She's like, this makes so much sense and helps me to understand, because we've said he's kind of got ADD and he's just like a flash and loses his thoughts and is so airy. And so she said, to know that and to think of it that way really helps me, because, you know, he was born in July. And I think for all of us, like, how great that we can look at, right, the 2,000 years of we've all held on to isn't for nothing. right? That you can say, I've been a Leo my whole life. I've been associating with this. I've like recognized it. Our thoughts are creating reality. And we've all been like, Leo is Leo. You know, Leo is the dates that Leo is, and Cancer is the dates that Cancers are. But now that we can look at, oh, there's an evolution of it, maybe I have a little bit of both. So that's my sort of take on it. How do you feel about that as a Leo Cancer?
I guess I have a question though. Like, are people updating now this new kind of alignment? You know, different dates and stuff. Now that you're, I guess.
It's kind of thrown off.
Yeah.
So like, what would a Leo be? Would a Leo be a Gemini potentially?
And are they catching on, like these apps and stuff where you can read your horoscope?
I think there are a few people, you know, I'm reading hundreds of people, like constantly seeing people, right? And for the most part, everyone I know, it's a very, very select few that questions and is like, well, hey, what do you think about this new way of looking at things? It's very rare. So I would say for the most part, people are pretty aligned with their sign. But obviously the New York Times is writing about this. It's sort of sprinkling in for us. And I think another really important thing to take out of all of this is like, what do you feel about yourself? That's the most important sign in this. We all have different planets in our birth chart. We're all connecting in different ways. So to just be like, I'm just a Leo and that's it. That's all there is. Like that's really you saying, it's like saying I'm, you know, because I go to this school, I'm everything that represents this school. You know, it's kind of like narrowing who we are. But to your point, it hasn't really caught on in a bigger way. I think there's sort of a sprinkling where there are people who are curious and are like, oh, what does this mean? I've been reading a little bit about it, but it's not caught on in the bigger collective, in my world anyway.
Let me ask you this, because a lot of times when we had the comedian on before you, he was talking about how people use astrology and zodiac signs in terms of relationships, right? They try to understand the other person. Does this change the game when it comes to that? Because what you think someone is may be kind of knocked off a little bit.
I think you can use it to your advantage. I think you can look at, I don't know that it knocks anything off, but let's say someone tells you, oh, you're a Leo, you should not be with a Pisces. And you're like, but wait, I'm dating a Pisces, right? It can make you sort of look at, oh, there is a reason that we attracted and found each other, right? As with anything, there's just always exceptions, or in this case, perhaps it even makes more sense where you're like, oh, wow, now I can see more why I'm with this person. But I think, because I kind of love when I hear two different signs that maybe aren't meant for each other have attracted each other, because there's usually a deeper context of what they came to learn and what they found to work through with that person.
So you mentioned some of your clients. What are people coming to you for if people at home aren't familiar with your work?
People are usually coming to you. Lately, it's been a lot of, oh my gosh, what is happening? I've got a lot of fear around my career. I'm struggling with, you know, we are really moving into a time, this eclipse that we're in now and what's coming up with this new moon on Sunday and the equinox Monday, this next 3 months is a lot of change, and a lot of change that maybe we're not expecting or creating, but is happening for us. But it's creating this time of, what do you want to dream up? Like, what do you want? And so I'm having clients come like, help me, how do I prepare for where I'm going next? Because I know I want change. I want to change I want to be more connected to my purpose. I want to have my career feel more aligned with who I am. And we're all really like seeking and trying to connect to what that is. So that's been a big thing. And obviously there have been a lot of breakups and deaths. We're in a time of, again, this change, and people need support in how to navigate that and to sort of understand where might I be headed, or help me prepare for where I'm going.
That makes sense given the times that we're in. Let me ask you this. How did you even find yourself? Because I think we've all, you know, explored looking into astrology and our zodiac signs. How did you find yourself being kind of an expert on this, when did you start delving into this world of zodiac signs and astrology?
For me, it happened through my dreams. And for me, it happened about 13 years ago. So, but it's interesting you even ask that, because I am you would be shocked. I'm shocked even now to have like 50-year-old men who are running, huge companies that you wouldn't, that you wouldn't ever imagine are calling me and talking about their sign or sending me articles and being like, I need you to help me understand more of this, because we're in a moment in time where we are all realizing there's so much outside of us and so much we can learn about our inside life and about ourselves through this sort of study in a way that we've never had. When I started having dreams and were given tarot cards and started channeling horoscopes, it was a lot of my friends were like, what are you doing? I was working in entertainment I was doing marketing and loving my job there. And just all of a sudden I was like, this is all I can do. It's all, I want to learn more about myself. I want to learn more about helping people. And we're really, I imagine even you saying you're talking about it with the comedian, 10 years ago, I'm sure you wouldn't have been having that conversation, right? We're all like, oh my gosh, tell me more. This is helping me understand myself and understand more about who I am and how I want to be in the world, which is really cool and exciting.
It is.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are seeking answers because so many things are happening around us that we can't really find an answer to. So we're trying to delve through it all to figure out, where can I turn to find an answer to this, whatever this is.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Well, and I think I want an answer. By any chance, I'm going to put some pressure on you.
Yeah.
Can you give us a reading virtually, or do you strictly do them in person?
No, I'd love to do it virtually.
Here we go.
Start with
okay,
I want to see.
Oh boy, you can be honest too, because I know I got something.
I'm gonna do a three. I'm gonna get each of your birthdays. I'm gonna do a 3-card pull, and I'm gonna give you just a little bit.
Okay.
We're gonna see what comes through.
If it's something bad, email me. Okay. July 26th is my actual birth month and day.
You're the day before my birthday and one of my best friends.
Look at us.
Oh, look at
July
that.
26th.
We're aligned. Are knew?
I feel the connection.
Wait, July 26th. Okay, wow. So you are in the year of reinventing yourself.
Oh, baby, I feel it. You talking my language now. Come on.
This year really wants to, it really wants you to go in deeper and look at who's really most important to you. How do you really want the world to see you? What have you been maybe putting out for the world because that's what was expected of you or wanted, but now you're realizing this is more of my truth, and what's happening to you this year is trying to help you see all of that and look more at how you want to share your purpose in the world. And I'll tell you, 2027 is going to be a huge year for you.
Ooh, 2027. Yeah. We got to get there, but we're going to get there. Okay.
Oh, also, you've got some powerful legacy cards coming through. It's showing me that really what's happening for you this next 6 months. Like, I get this card, if you see.
Okay, I see King of somebody.
It's the King of Pentacles. In my deck, it's the Scooter Braun card, but it's very much like, how are you building out your life and how you want to leave your legacy? And my cards are showing what you've been working on now and how you've been looking at yourself. Like, the cards show it in a way where it's like, oh, she knows herself, she knows who she is, but she can feel there's bigger change coming, and tell her she's exactly where she needs to be.
She's got it.
Okay, thank you for that. I feel that energy. What's your birth month and date?
August 8th.
August 8th.
Ooh, you're an 8-8.
I'm actually 888.
Yeah.
So it's my angel number, my sister tells me.
Wow.
And I think
It is.
Okay. But also the 8-8 for you, this is going to be, this is big for you to know. So next year you are in an 8 year in numerology, which means you with that 888, and then to know that next year is the 8, is like what you are manifesting now, and even what you're questioning or being shown, because I'm being shown in the cards, like it's sort of like, tell her to relax and be open. Don't say no to what might be showing up. Like, be open to what possibility could be presenting itself, without needing to decide anything yet. But you need to know that next year is going to be like a fast forward button on just like bringing to you things that maybe even something this year you're like, maybe I'd want to do this, or maybe I'd want to move here, or maybe I'd want. Next year is going to flood a lot of support and show you how you've been manifesting like some big stuff.
You go. Wow.
I have issues for both of us.
No, I love this. You go.
This is kind of what I live for. I love this.
That was fun. Yeah. Thank you so much.
It's so impressive that you could do that virtually. Like, you can tell you're a wealth of knowledge.
We need you in studio next time.
I would love that.
Okay, we're gonna make it happen.
All right, we need to know your social media handles. Where can people find you? Do you share more information on social media?
I do a little bit. I'm at Angie Banicki, just my name on Instagram.
Perfect.
And my website is just my name.
Oh, your same thing. AngieBanicki.com. Thank you so much for being with us. You were a wealth of knowledge.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you in person next time.
Yes.
All right, sounds good.
All right, perfect. All right, coming up, we are talking with Block Club Chicago, really talking about some serious stuff that's been going on in our community involving ICE. We'll have that right after this break. Welcome back to Chicago Now. We're going to end the show talking about something that is really serious in our community, and we've been talking about ICE ramping up enforcement in and around the Chicago area, including the suburbs. And Block Club Chicago actually sued to force ICE to release some records, but even those were heavily redacted. And joining us now to talk about this is reporter Mick Dumke. Thank you so much for speaking with us about this. Let's talk about, for the sake of transparency, what has been revealed by ICE.
Sure. Thank you for having me on, first of all. Really appreciate it. Nice to join you. Although it's not a most pleasant subject to talk about. The backdrop here is that, as everybody knows who's watching, ICE has been active in Chicago for a long time, but they've ramped up operations, obviously, during the second term of Donald Trump. And journalists and other people trying to find out what's going on have had an extremely difficult time getting any information, even basic information, from ICE about what they're up to, including such just really seemingly routine things as like, how many people have you arrested? What were they arrested for? What happened to them afterward? They just have not answered these questions. So we filed a lawsuit a few months ago basically saying that you've ignored our request for information and you violated the law by doing that. And eventually they produced some records giving us a glimpse of what happened in the early days of this new administration right after President Trump was inaugurated.
You know, let's take it back to that time. How did Block Club first learn ICE made so many arrests after Trump's inauguration?
Well, you know, during that time, it was pretty crazy. The president had pronounced that this was going to happen. And my colleagues, other media, your colleagues were, you know, all over the city, all over the Chicago area, trying to get information on the street, trying to, you know, get information from ICE about what they're up to. And they really, even though they had Dr. Phil in and they televised some of these operations, they really didn't provide any information, like I mentioned. So we eventually filed this lawsuit, and the records showed us that just in the first 10 days, there were almost 400 people arrested in the Chicago region, ICE's Chicago region, which includes not just Illinois, but also Wisconsin, Indiana, and a couple of other nearby states. And what we can tell from the records is that of those people, more than 50 were arrested in the city itself and more than 100 arrested in the state of Illinois. What's significant, though, is what we don't know. The records have, as you mentioned at the top of the segment, they have a lot of redactions. There are a lot of blank spots in there. And so really what we have is most likely an undercount of what actually happened on the ground.
Mick, my real question here is just, you know, hearing from the community on this issue, mostly every day, we're hearing from people saying, you know, they took my uncle off the street. They took my father off the street with really no due process. My uncle was, you know, I actually heard from someone yesterday, they claim they actually had a birth certificate born right here in the United States. Any idea the background of the people that have been picked up by ICE?
Very little. That is one of the significant redactions in the records they provided to us, and other groups around the country have filed similar lawsuits and gotten information as well. But nobody has received, that I'm aware of, no one has received the names of people who were picked up and arrested. As you mentioned, we've been able to find out collectively, reporters have been able to find out from talking to family members, attorneys, you know, some anecdotal stuff here and there. But it's like people have been reduced to names on a spreadsheet, or excuse me, not names, like lines on a spreadsheet. And you can sort of see what happened to them as a statistic, but we don't know their names. We're not able to track what happened to them once they got arrested. Where were they sent? We know that dozens of people just in this initial group, actually I'm understating it, hundreds of people have already been deported from the initial group arrested in January. But to keep track of what's happened to them is almost impossible because ICE just won't release the information.
Yeah, it's almost as if they vanish without a trace, like you just never hear from them again. We're running out of time, but I want to ask you this, Mick. What is the problem? Because, you know, people talk about this issue every day. What is the problem with those records not detailing everything? And is there really a transparency issue at play here?
It's absolutely a transparency issue. We're not even wading into the debate about immigration policies in this country. I think in order to even have that debate, you have to know what's going on right now. And so with this lack of transparency comes a lack of accountability. We don't know who has been picked up. We don't know their backgrounds. We don't know what's happened to them. And that just seems absolutely wrong. We think it's that the government should at the very least provide the names and some other basic information about who they've picked up, and then the public can decide, you know, how to proceed with the policies that are in place.
You know, quickly, I guess our question would be, what do you think is next for this legal fight for transparency? Could this set precedent?
And you have like 40 seconds. Sorry, we're running out of time, but.
Yeah, it'll be really fast. I mean, we're continuing the fight. We're not the only ones. There are, like I said, other groups in Chicago, around the country, but we have not closed out this lawsuit, and we are currently in negotiations with lawyers for ICE about the issue of releasing names. So we're going to continue the fight for transparency.
Well, we hope to have you back on the show, because I think this is an issue that we could talk about literally, you know, at the end of almost every week, because this is happening across our area. And I think to kind of give it a roundup to actually understand what happens every week, it would be beneficial to have you on. Thank you so much for being with us.
Appreciate it. Thanks very much.
All right. Thank you. We had a great show. We're going to continue it again tomorrow. Make sure you tune in. Hump Day. It's Hump Day tomorrow.
Wednesday.
Yeah, Chicago Now. We'll see you then. Have a great day.
See ya.
Live from Chicago, this is Fox 32 News at Noon.
Next at noon, some sad news out of Hollywood today. We're going to take a look back at the life of iconic movie star Robert Redford.
And live right now in Melrose Park, where activists are gathering to protest against a federal immigration crackdown.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Sylvia Perez.
And I am Brian Jackson. As ICE demonstrations continue here across the state of Illinois.
Right now, a rally is taking place in Melrose Park. Let's take a live look. This is happening along West North Avenue. The protesters say this walk will support all immigrant communities. The demonstration was organized by PASO West Suburban Action Project. It's a social justice organization that aims to get community members to act in order to build stronger communities regardless of immigration status. Again, this is a live look at what's happening there right now. In the meantime, Border Patrol agents are expanding its operation at large to Chicago. U.S. Customs and Border Protection Commander Gregory Bovino made that announcement on X, saying, quote, Well, Chicago, we've arrived. Operation at Large is here to continue the mission we started in Los Angeles. The operation is continuing to target undocumented people. This announcement comes just one day after Governor Pritzker addressed Trump's immigration policy, saying the federal forces have created widespread fear.
Mayor Brandon Johnson signed an executive order today.
It strengthens people's rights to protest as tensions are building over this immigration enforcement.
The mayor put pen to paper just moments ago. The order calls for CPD to collaborate with protest organizers to develop alternative plans if federal law enforcement disrupts a lawful demonstration. This comes after what Mayor Johnson calls a troubling use of force by federal agents against protesters during a demonstration that was outside of an ICE site in Broadview late last week.
The First Amendment clearly states that we have the right to peacefully assemble, petition our government, and speak freely without intervention or fear of retaliation. If the federal government will not uphold this right, then the city of Chicago will.
Mayor Johnson says that this will add to his Know Your Rights campaign to protect immigrants across the city.
Let's take a live look outside at the Bean. The people out enjoying an amazingly beautiful day, right? It
still feels like summer.
Oh, yeah. Caitlin, how long is this going to last? This is great.
You know, above normal temperatures look to last through the end of the month.
Wow.
But above normal, that means different things, right? So this week we should be in the upper 70s.